All right. I'd like to call the Chattahoochee Hills Convention and District Bureau to order on November 15th, 2000. We'll do a roll call to make sure that we have on record who's here and if anyone's on Zoom. Steve Niger present.
Jillian West present.
Brooke McClure present.
Carter Williams present.
Luke Summers present.
Janice Barton present.
Joyce Wood present.
Do we have anyone on Zoom?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. So we, let the record show, we do have a, forum. Everyone who's received the agenda, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Everyone has received the minutes. And is there any additions or corrections? And if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Been moved. Is there a second? It's moved and second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, our agenda today, and the main reason for our meeting today is to hear the final presentation from Sons on Brandeis. So we'll turn it over to y'all now.
Right. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Right. You got it. Robbie's driving us. Okay. Hey, but let me say thanks for all the feedback and participation and energy that y'all put into this. It really helped us push the identity and imagine how it could work, and from the CVB and just throughout the community. So awesome. And I think what we have is a really great foundation that can be used and extended across, anything you imagine in the future around how we recruit and advertise and get more people excited about Chattahoochee Hills. So look at this as the kind of the DNA that gets spread out and reimagined over time. I think we got some really good building blocks, especially thanks to y'all's feedback and builds. All right, let's match the button. Yeah. Okay. Starting off with the mark, Chattahoochee Hills, we've optimized the our monogram on the left. Spent a lot of time just getting it right, but we love the idea of there being this kind of circular form and this slanted rectangular form. But this mark locks up to your logo type, Chattahoochee Hills. It starts to work on its own, and over time it'll gain a lot of meaning, and it'll be able to function and just kind of signal when you see the little polo guy on the the horseshoe on your shirt. That's polo, that's Ralph Lauren. We'll be able to get there with our key audiences by using this consistently. All right, let's go. We brought a set of color swatches, but the truth of it is so much of what we see these days is digitally viewed. And it's going to be slightly different for everywhere. But we've got a pretty cool palette from, kind of building from the land, right? From the grass, from the trees, from the sky, from the river, just the whole palette of Chattahoochee Hills. That was our starting place. Cool. And an interesting thing that we're starting to do is show how this can wander, right? So your mark can be this thing that is on a business card or a legal contract, but it can also be something that's blown up and you get some sense of wonder. You get this Leah kayaking down the Chattahoochee on there, whatever we want to show, right? But the idea that the mark itself becomes kind of a lens, right? Or a window to view this ourselves. And beyond it, you know, you can kind of flow and show more of the environment from really close up, you know, to far away, right? So, you know, short kind of bouquet of flowers or field to far away vista. So we've got this kind of meandering, right? We also tried to use this device to capture what's so special about Chattahoochee Hills. You all have this kind of embodiment of these beautiful contrasts, right? From local or global, you're rural, but you're urban, you're, you know, it feels like you're in another universe unto yourself, but you're right by the world's busiest airport. So, you know, finding these ways to celebrate and kind of own these interesting contradictions that really make you. And the idea for this kind of sign, right? We want something that, I know we're designing this for the Convention and Visitors Bureau, but anything that we create, we want people to be able to take it and, you know, beyond, take it home with them, take it to their business, take it to their hotel or, you know, whatever it is they do, their Airbnb, however they're doing it. Idea that this is kind of a die cut sign. This idea that it's a window into this world of Chattahoochee Hills, right? So you're kind of seeing Chattahoochee Hills through the market itself, right? Or at a market, at an event, things like that. It's just kind of an interesting way to do some of these. Right? And what's interesting too is, you know, we talked about this, we need people to see their own view of Chattahoochee Hills, right? You're inviting dreamers and visionaries and people that have their own kind of sight, right? And so part of this idea is just to really invite kind of visionaries to see Chattahoochee Hills for themselves. You're also seeing how we can, if we go back one, I don't know if you noticed, you know, we're just shortening to Chat Hills for when that's
I like that.
necessary, yeah. Right, it's in your email addresses. It's how people refer to Chattahoochee Hills, when, you know, talking to other folks familiar with the area. So it's kind of a popular way of saying it. So just giving you a way to officially do that when it's appropriate.
It also could be used for Cherry Hollow.
Well, yeah, there's the license. We have the licensing fee, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, right there. Right, and so in this case, just showing how kind of from the Chat Hills, we have this sort of, you know, meandering line that does invite you into this whole new way of living, of working, of growing a business, growing a family, growing a community. The guys are out front with a couple gallons of paint right now. Right? But we want to see how this works from, you know, civic buildings to yard signs to a cool T-shirt to a sign on your window. You know, I want people to, you know, I want you to have something up at Cherry Hollow or wherever we're going at Serenbe, or how do you get, you know, we want people to fly this flag. All right. So, right. Got some, you know, sweet little stickers for businesses, hotels, going to an Airbnb. How do we show that and really, you know, signal that we're part of this Chattahoochee Hills? Also really great quarter zip. Full zip.
That's.
But you know, this can get really rustic. I don't know if y'all can tell, you know, we've got these kind of iron knockouts on the fence posts with the CH logo, but it doesn't have to always be bright in your face. It can be really subtle, more of a textural mark. Yeah, it's just cool on your morning coffee.
Oh, I think we can see it on the second one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We got Robbie Snoot.
Robbie's that gonna tell?
We got Kirby Smart. Yeah. Again, thinking about, sort of flags or banners or, when you're doing an event or welcoming people to Chat Hills, it's just so great to have some kind of sentinel or some gates that say, or you're here, how do you mark where you are and remind people that you're a part of this? Because there's so much great stuff here, helping people connect it back to, oh, this was in Chat Hills, and this was in Chat Hills, and this was in Chat Hills, and this was. We have a lot of experiences of the individual places and moments, but how do we build that into kind of the constellation of, oh, not just looking at these independent one-off spaces, this is all part of this Chat Hills tapestry of awesomeness. Right, we want people to wear it on a cap, we want it to be on their, on their Jeep, especially if it's clean, probably gotta clean the tires on this thing. But yeah, we want it on, we want people to own it. It's on your laptop. We want it to be in the public realm. And that's how it travels. So it's got to work from a legal contract, business campaign, recruiting campaign to something we just want to love and we feel like we're part of the team. Yeah.
Who's gonna do the signage?
Well, we know it's not. Already got my tattoo design. Yeah. I think that's a fun contrast from, if we go back to look at that kind of embossed, right? Whether that's a street, a sidewalk marker or whatever, but just functioning at that kind of civic scale or just that there's no color. It's just this stamped CH monogram. Too, if we go to the next slide, it's full of photography and image and color. And so it can feel really kind of simple, hyper simple and iconic. And then it's more kind of poetic and narrative like this. So we've got a lot of flexibility. So yeah, from a vegetable box to kind of special use permits, things like that, ways to get it out there. But just trying to think about this brand, can it live in all these places? Can you, the place, you've got world-renowned architects coming here to build things, you've got families coming here, you've got agricultural, heritage and history. How does this thing bridge all those? How do we attract the right kinds of businesses and people that we want to live here? And also kind of fit in and, really celebrate who we are and what we have. At a big way or a tiny way, right? That's just little signature. The more we see that popping up, the more we know and kind of tag. All these things are Chat Hills. This is.
And the one on the left, is it just empty? So you just see whatever's through it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Carter and I were just saying that this is Chat Hills.
Yeah.
What an awesome, just like you are here.
Mhm.
Here you are.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, it's like you point at stuff to define it. This is Chat Hills.
Right,
This is
right.
Chat Hills.
Right.
That's a bird. That's
Yeah,
a dog.
exactly.
That's Chat
This
Hills.
is Chat
Yeah. Cool. Obviously we have, full lockup, Chattahoochee Hills. You got a lot of letters there. Love how it's so compact as Chat Hills. I think that's a great asset for y'all. And then when we need to, be really proper, we have the whole convention and visitors bureau. That's fun. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's good.
What was the look back through, any particular?
Did you say you had color swatches?
Oh, yeah.
There, right?
They're like the second.
This, the orange one was the only one that wasn't,
Yeah, that's why.
didn't hit me
Digital
just
is hard to
right.
look at.
Yeah.
I like the orange, but I felt like it was more coral maybe. Opposed
so
to like a,
These
like a clay.
colors.
What's the floral represent? The flower represent? Oh, is it flower?
Oh, I think she said coral, but the orange.
Flower like
The
that.
white.
The off-white.
What is they represent? I can figure out the green. clay,
Oh,
flower represents what?
I don't know, I like this color. But
I don't wanna make anything up, but it's part of it, we didn't want things to just be black and white. So it's just a softer kind of light.
I love the green.
I didn't know if it was some
Green
reflection of
and blue.
agriculture, or potential for farm and table, or, you know, or stuff like that. I didn't know what.
That was kind of what it was really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea as much as.
Culinary.
Yeah. But from a practical part, we didn't wanna start white, you know, we wanted it to be softer. Yeah.
So now. What tools do we have to start using this?
Yeah.
So that everybody can, you know, what form does this come in, so that we can sell it or grab it people.
So at this point, we'll kind of optimize all these assets, so, anyone who receives them can work with them, right? And build out the design guidelines to help support it, yeah. So we've got, I think, we've been sort of building the rules as we've been designing. And then it's just, we write the recipes, right? So we've been cooking up the stuff and saying, does this taste good? Does this taste good? How does this look? How does this look? And now it's kind of writing down those recipes so other people can use these ingredients and make something great, feels like Chat Hills. So we've got that part. There are some things that, we'd love to help go out the list, because now we speak Chat Hills brand fluently. We love to crank out a bunch of this stuff so you can go far fast, right? And make a big impact, make a big splash on some of these things. That's however y'all like to do it. So this kind of codification, those rules that get written for the guidelines, and stuff. Let's make a website.
What's that?
Presentation templates, campaigns for people developers, business owners, are all things that we can do with all access.
So a launch plan is probably what we can think about.
What's that?
A launch plan, but we probably need the website. We need some assets, I think, before we bring.
Even if the website's just a showcase of what we have, and it's not really laid out where we wanna go yet, how we wanna like framework it, like at least we have our logo on the page and how it.
Right, what does it mean if I'm a business owner?
Right. So like verbiage
Yep.
in terms of like those taglines or those marketing, statements. Is that something that would be kind of the next step with you guys, or is that something we need to kind of think through on our end?
Messaging framework, is a part of what our
Okay,
scope is
cool.
and will be included in
Thought so.
the brand guidelines.
Okay,
Say, like,
got it.
here's a,
Right,
toolbox of messaging and
Yeah.
phrasing things from kind of short.
Yeah.
This is Chat Hill.
right, which is
And or a
impactful.
new framework,
Yeah.
we've also written out, a brand narrative that's a little bit longer,
Yeah.
more evocative, that.
So what we'll get, I just want to say, in our toolbox will be the templates on all these things we want to use it, and then. If we want to build out a full web page, then we contract in that's another fees, or if we want to.
The,
So then some of them are template, but a lot of it's just, hey, this is the art, this is the, the.
Right.
The logo, it should be. Like the fabricator
Right.
will figure it out, or the designer will know, how to,
You'll give us all the rules, so
Yeah.
if we're wanting, putting it in our own teams.
you get tools and rules.
The rules are there. All the color specs, so it's all the,
Yeah.
they don't make the wrong color, it's a whole. And then I guess think about, what are the things that would be cool? I mean.
Right.
It would be, if we're gonna roll this out in the February meeting. Wouldn't it be cool at the
We all
end to
have to
Have
have
something,
Stickers.
coffee
With
mugs
us.
or stickers.
a sticker?
Or decal, car decals.
We
And
used
we
to
have
have
stickers on our.
CHCVB
Get it all.
stickers
I know.
years ago.
Yeah.
At least the board gets it all.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember those. I
We
think
need
I
I
have
had,
one.
we have.
Swag.
Yeah, stickers for the car, sticker for your window.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be that
T-shirt.
expensive to give everybody a sticker. for
And
their
what
car.
about, Robbie, what about if it's approved, how fast would it go on to the city's cars and police cars?
Well, this is completely separate. This
Oh, it is
yours.
totally separate.
It's yours,
So it's-
but,
But it's optional that they could.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the city doesn't wanna steal your brand. But the city may say,
Give 'em a good
hey,
deal
But if we want to give it to
If we're
Let's-
consistent.
Right,
let's
let's be
Or
the
charge
same.
be
them a
consistent,
little
not
bit.
having Chattanooga's brand and the
Hey,
city.
Yeah,
Better replenish our budget.
I mean, would you agree? You can help get people lined up and, we present this in February meeting and then hopefully. Some city council members said, hey, let's look at this. or
Right,
study
absolutely.
Adopting this as our brand.
Right, it makes sense.
So if you take a look at that, like, there are certain things that are important, like what does our first responder fleet look like?
Yeah,
How do we,
Yeah.
incorporate this to
Yeah.
that?
signage,
Yeah.
variant signage, stuff like that.
But this isn't an old brand. Y'all when did y'all go through this branding, Robbie?
That was a long time ago, our city was formed, there was a
Okay,
contest.
it wasn't like last year.
No,
No,
No, that was not adopted, that was,
Okay.
this is early city.
yeah, way.
And behind your head.
2007, 8.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And like we talked about, you guys had done, you have this signage in different places around the city. So in a transition period, you could always tag it, like we were talking about last time, that CH like on the side.
Yeah.
Like a little flag. I don't know if it's too conflicting of messaging, but something I think.
Yeah, on the wayfinding signs, you don't see that
Right,
logo.
that's true.
You just see it on the gate,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
so that's easy.
That's true.
Um,
And then we can look at how to attach it to the way, those
Yeah.
side things.
Yeah.
So you're
So
reinforcing
you
it
got
everywhere.
everything on top.
The signpost, yeah.
Video.
Video.
Yeah.
Y'all got all the fancy words.
Yeah, the video will work.
Yeah.
Fits Sandy too.
Yeah, similar to that, the signpost.
Right, that's all.
Yeah.
So if you look at a date, if you say, hey, for CVB as moving forward with that, we wanna launch the site, kind of launch some of the brand. Or that depends on. If you do kind of a stages and gates approach with, do you not launch until the city adopts or doesn't? Or,
Right.
are you going in a parallel path or is it a kind of a sequential thing? But, if you look at. I always love Valentine's Day to launch a brand. I mean, it's just so happy that let's fall in love with the city, let's fall in love with the brand. It's just a fun time to do that kind of thing. But launching a website or creating that launch date is a good backboard for just puts a lot of pressure and focus on attention, which is needed to
Right.
actually launch something. So thinking about what that is, or if there's a special day, maybe there's a big event in March or April. Just circling that and starting to prep, because the website is kind of design, development, building, testing, launching.
Yeah.
Takes longer than you'll want.
Yeah, we're launching the city's new website December 5th,
Oh,
so it's just a new platform, same company, we're just changing up some things.
that's cool.
And could it initially be so simple that taking your template?
Yeah.
Is kind of the opening page. And if we got I don't know how you organize this, but if you provided the template to every one of our hospitality businesses. And they could load it or send it to us, so it's sort of, we give them the rules on what that page looks like, but everybody gets a page in the web page, and you have a directory, or I don't know. It'd be a simple way, I know we still have to hire somebody to do that, but that would be rather than developing.
But I think I totally agree. When you launch, you probably want to be ready to at least we've got the framework, now give us your information, and this is the way we need it.
Right, yeah.
And have that form, so it's just checking boxes. And then some thought, you know. What are we doing for them? You know, how are we promoting that website? How are we trying to get traffic to the website?
Well,
And that's a whole different
thing
thing.
that Your businesses, can do that are in Chat Hills is things as simple as like just a banner that goes up on their webpage or social
Yeah, it's a good
media
idea.
post. And everything redirects to like a microsite or a landing page
Yeah.
for the Chat Hills CVB, and then that's where things start to like really dive deeper.
Yeah.
But we can get like small assets like that out really quickly to people to use, which is nice and effective.
Yeah, we could probably even get there. That's the way we would want to get their info too, is all digital, you know, not paper.
But it could be that you choose a couple of folks that are gonna be ambassadors or kind of leaders in the community.
Chat
Um,
tickets.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you feature them and, you know, it's their businesses are featured and just the idea that they're going first, we gotta feature everybody, you know, but you start somewhere. And you know, start to build that in.
You know, that's a great way to get people excited though, is,
Yeah.
you know, once a month or whatever, there's a feature article on somebody.
And that kind of redirects to like the conversation of what are we trying to do as Chat Hills CVB? And like talking about what can we offer them? Like, that's a whole nother conversation. We've got our branding now. What can we do for you?
That's it.
Yeah, is it a, you know, do we have a card? All the Airbnbs and the inn and.
Yeah.
That highlights all the, you know, we've got art, we've got agritourism developing, we've got, you know.
Like a beautiful, like one pager that we
Yes.
just have or I mean, it can be more built out than that, it could be a whole book, right? Like this beautiful Chattahoochee Hills magazine, I mean, there's lots of different options of things that could be created to.
But we could host like an innovation session, the way we work with our commercial clients, where, you know, we think about the customer experience and how do you intercept them at these different points.
Yeah.
And create something that's gonna be meaningful and memorable, you know, not just like. Cause here we're thinking about artifacts, we'll get a koozie, we're gonna
Right.
stick, you know, but as we start to think more about on this journey as a customer, what, you know, what are those moments that can have an outsized impact and help people fall in love with Chat Hills. So, yeah, I mean, we'd be happy to do that, cause I, you know. This is part of it, right? But you gotta
Yeah.
launch it in ways that people fall in love with it. For your, you know, internal or your existing community and then for the external too.
2 different customers for sure, maybe
Yeah,
3,
right.
if you can't talk about the city. you
Yeah.
know, and so. That's a big conversation. I think we need to have.
We'll do anything for a cheese board.
Oh,
Sorry,
Let's get the list together.
we have our next meeting back in.
Yeah.
No, I mean, before we get off that topic, I wanna make just a quick announcement to you guys here, that back in September. The mayor and council approved, 3 new positions in the city. One was a deputy public works director, that, you know, help there, so. You know, Daryl can continue doing other things beyond public work stuff, because he does a lot of, project management stuff. A deputy, fire chief, which was already appointed, which is Pat Carey, he's the deputy fire chief, I guess it was called deputy fire chief. And they created economic development director. And I stole the guy, that I've been talking to for a while, from another city. He starts December 4th.
It's awesome.
And you know,
That's
we met,
huge.
we had a couple meetings actually in Serenbe and stuff. He's been in Serenbe dozens of times because he brings people to Serenbe, Intralith and other places, showcasing them. But he's our economic development director. Also, over the years of his career, and he's written over $55 million in grants. So he gets big time grants, like $6 million for traffic circles,
It's awesome.
even $200,000 for a park sign. So he's a genius grant writer. So he starts on December 4th, and you're gonna see a lot more. I'm gonna introduce him to you guys, because he's an economic development
We
director.
definitely
And I
want
told
to
him,
talk
I said, this is Chat Hills. We're not recruiting Publix and Costco's and restaurants and that, that's not what we do.
Oh, yeah, I'll
We
take
might
a
have a
Whole
Whole
Foods. Even
Foods.
fr- I'll do a fresh
Please,
market.
please,
I'll do
please.
something.
But he's gonna be engaged in that process, so, anyway. he starts to jump in.
Awesome.
Number 4.
It's awesome. Well,
That's
it's
great.
definitely,
Great.
need to bring him into the.
Yeah, he's gonna, I'll bring him to the next meeting, and he'll probably come to all of these.
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah. Well, he'll have some good direction on kind of how we can best utilize.
And then do you want to give an update on the DMO organization? Where are we there?
Yeah, speaking of DMO, they appointed the city manager or his or her designee. I said his or her during the council meeting, because we had an election, I wasn't sure that next year that you would have a his
Right.
designee, it could have been another city manager. Elections change things and stuff like that. What's up?
Great
I joke.
inclusivity.
I kid, that's just, but yeah, city manager or his or her designee, so it could be that I appoint this economic development director to serve on one of the directors, it could be. In the meantime, I'll do it, and so Garney's on it, I'm on it, and then the members of the organization have to appoint that, so we send out a letter to those business, people who have business licenses, we try to target those that had tourism related stuff, short-term rentals, and I got a spreadsheet in the very back of your packet of those that have responded so far with interest. So, not a long list, you'll see like 5 people, 4 or 5 people. But hey, that's a start, it's just
Yeah.
now starting, and they say, what
I am
do you
shocked
require?
You didn't reply to you.
I know. He was just here the other day,
I know. He had an assistant last week.
I heard he brought somebody to,
She,
Introduce
yeah,
her.
he brought her
didn't.
yesterday to meet.
yeah, and Carl's been here a couple days in a row. talking to him,
Yeah, he's
but-
in town.
Oh, you got JB's interested, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, he's awesome.
So, yeah, and these are folks, I said, what does it require? And I said $50 a year, kind of. But also it requires them to, probably we have quarterly meetings, with the DMO, it's not a big deal. And I said, the goal is for DMO, that 1.5% money coming in, DMO doesn't need to keep that. And use it for their purposes. The goal is to transfer that to you guys to use, because you're better at using that money in tourism related stuff, these are just, folks. But they'll have a vote on who will be the member, so one of those persons plus others who add will have to elect one of them to serve on that, and then we'll have 3 directors and members, so that's where we're at. So, moving forward, that had to be done, so Rick Lindsay, our city attorney, could file the paperwork for the 501c6. And then we're increasing the hotel motel tax rate from 7% to 8%, that'll go to the general assembly from January.
So are these people members or are they candidates?
They're just saying, hey,
You just joined.
yeah, you just joined.
Oh, anybody, gotcha.
You just joined, it's not required, but $50 a year. And then you're a member, just like a chamber of commerce stuff.
I got it.
That's why I equated to you. You don't have to go to meetings or anything like that, you're just a member of the chamber.
Okay. Yeah.
We're moving along here. That's good. Have you had a chance to give us a budget summary or?
Yeah, and we got new software, and I was talking to my someone on staff today, and said, I'm a dinosaur, Excel spreadsheet, but I'm struggling right now because we've transitioned to the new software. So my Excel spreadsheets, which I live and die by, now, I can't use in QuickBooks, we can use from previous years. All that to say that I'm learning new software, and I was able to do a balance sheet today, and I attached it. There's like $3,000 right now left because we spent money, we're spending money along the way. And so I just got audited this week too, so I can say what our fund balance was and then what we have left over, but that's why these folks were nice enough to let us pay them up until February because we weren't accruing any money. But
So the money coming in through February is still paying.
it's still allocated, yes.
Yeah.
It's still paying these folks, and then that point going forward, your percentage will start accruing, and then you'll get that additional percent, that 1.5%.
That's right.
Participate from the DMO transferred over, and of course, we're gonna get more taxes too, because it's gonna go 7 to 8% for the hotel space, so there'll be more money coming in. The audit, we did good this time, this is the first year since I've been here that we're not gonna get slapped on the wrist by the Department of Community Affairs, I have to send a letter saying, sorry, we didn't spend the mandatory money, because I think we generated like 470,000 or something like that, motel funds, and we spent like 538 or something. And it sounds like we spent more than we had, we spent more than we generated in revenue for a fiscal year, but we had a fund balance from last year, which you're not supposed to have. So we spent all of it, plus the fund balance from last year, and part of it is just, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
So I'm glad we've been able to bring you in line for. PCA.
Yeah, thanks for spending.
We're good
I
at
mean,
spending
I
money.
joke, but the money, it's not like the general fund, it's not like our fund, where that fund balance can go
Yeah.
into reserves we can use for capital.
Yeah.
That's gotta be spent.
Yeah.
So y'all, yes, just like our ARPA money, the federal money, that's gotta be obligated by the end of next year, when you see things happening in the city. You know, like the public works building that we're buying, that's gonna be done, paid for by the state, local, federal relief fund. That's not that's not our tax dollars, that's everybody's tax dollars.
Can't squirrel it away.
But we have to spend it, or I got an email Monday that said, if you don't spend it, you gotta give it back. I'm not giving it back in. Sorry, we're keeping it.
So this will be where we can project forward what 2024 is gonna be and start deciding some of these things. So we're going to have a luncheon at the February city council meeting. And we're all gonna present and bring this up, and I think we invited you all, if you can come. And then we need to decide what we wanna have for that. Is that, I guess. Is there that next step? Will it be the framework for what do we have to do to like a framework for the, a webpage and how we want everybody to load in?
Yeah, let's think about that from here to there. And let's think about. If y'all have ideas that said, you know what, if we could show this example to city council, I think they'd really get it, right? Because y'all been looking at this and imagining this brand, and, you know, this is just as much y'all imagining the future of Chat Hills as it is, you know, us doing the thing. But, you know, you may say, there was a picture of this event with this branding, you know, like, I think that would really do it.
Well, the city hall picture,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the brick wall, that
and
was,
this is it sign, I think it's fantastic,
And the-
but this is it.
yeah.
Well, and then if you look at some of our events that have been at Hutchins Ferry Park or here at the city. Just take that image and put all the flags in.
Mhm.
And the Wayfair signs with the tag deal. And then, you know, we've spent so much time talking about the story of this branding. And I feel like that deserves to be told at the meeting. Instead of just like presenting them with the
Yeah.
image, and I'm sure we'd say more than that, but figuring out how to succinctly tell that story in an impactful way.
So what we want to do is create sort of a storyboard that each person on this board gives a piece of the story. And then the crescendo will be turned on to you to show the brand or something. And then the next thing is, here's what we'd like to do. Now, I guess, you know, is what would be the budget to print stickers or something that we pass out that with the line? It'd be great if somebody had something to take home.
Let's get that list of stuff and we can, I mean, it's just whatever the production costs are. I mean,
Right.
We've got a couple sticker companies we use. Send them art, a week later you get, you know, dozens of stickers that are gonna wind up all over the place.
Stickers are great.
Yeah.
People that put
And
on.
we just did hats with, the boot cart new logo, and I think they were like $4, and they're nice hats. I have one in the car to
Yeah.
show you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
That's a
like,
good price point.
I started to say, I've never seen a $4 hat. So that's good.
Yeah,
I'll show it. It's a decent
That's
hat. I thought it was gonna be crap.
Yeah,
We just had some hats that, Camille, Councilman Camille Lowe went and got taken care of, that's some black ones and some. Green ones, we sold them for a fundraiser,
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
say for community outreach event, we sold them for $20, they cost $20. But we sold them.
Might have got the same one I got.
Well, we could give everybody a sticker and we could set up
Yeah,
a merch table
exactly.
where we
Yeah.
sell
Exactly.
stuff.
When we got our.
Sell
hats,
t-shirts,
we
hats.
put a,
Ready to go.
I can't remember what it's called, but there's a little electronic thing in the patch.
QR
So
code?
QR, yeah, well, it's not a QR
Or
code,
something
somebody
like
can take their iPhone and go across your patch, and it
Yeah.
pulls up the website.
That's
Wow.
That's
You're out
really
back.
Fancy.
That's amazing.
It's cheap, so. You know, if we did hats, somebody-
Stealing
Hey,
yeah.
what's your- what's this?
I don't like hold that on my head.
So
This hat right here, better be in the patch.
what if we could do something a little interactive? That's cool, like with the council that gives them something. I don't know how complicated it is to do that, but if we did it And it redirected to like a standstill page. It could even just be a mock-up. It doesn't have to be like an interactive page, just an image of what that website could look like.
Or like a quick scroll through of
Right,
the story.
right.
That's like static.
And that could just be a PowerPoint presentation that you put on an iPhone or something. I don't know.
They also, the hat thing, similarly, I've heard recently of some people having like these bracelets.
Yeah.
Where as you're talking to people in the community, they can scan that with, same thing with the hat, with your phone. So you can like give people a jump start as you're out and about, like
Yeah.
if you run into someone that's a potential developer, business owner or whatnot.
Skins bracelet.
You know, it seems that when people come, sorry, it seems when people come here, a lot of times they're doing one thing, like they met, like the first time I came years ago, it was to hike at Cochrane Mill. You may come to ride the dirty sheets or the clean sheets. You may come to Serenbe, but you don't know there's a Cherry Hollow. Or if you're biking, you don't know there's a Serenbe. You know, there's all these facets. So I really liked that when you said this is Chat Hills. And if there were a way, like everybody has this QR or something that's like for the parks, like that might be part of the park signage so that you can immediately know where you are, what all there is here, because you're just following your GPS to the park and then you leave.
And that's such a great contrast to the rural environment to have that hidden gem of technology connectivity. Like,
Our signage, I don't know if it's, you know,
Yarn signs.
you know, it's just, that needs to be almost second nature to us, because when you live in a place like this, you know, there are no billboards telling you to turn right at the next corner to
Right.
eat
Right.
or sleep. You know, that's not part of, that'll never be part of the nature here. So I think trying to
tie it together.
present the richness that's here to each component of the market that's experiencing one thing, so they know all the other stuff.
Build some trails, people that can take wherever they are in Chat Hills. They have things that we've put there or supplied to them that take that network out,
Yeah.
right? And that take them to these other spots or make them aware of it.
And I think when we do the presentation in February, that might be important to convey that in some way. Because I think if I'm a business owner, that makes me feel you're doing your job.
Yeah.
You know, because I love everybody, but I want to know what it's going to do for me.
Right, for sure.
And Robbie, I don't know what we can do. I know, you know, all the clients that come to our venue, we host about 30 weddings a year at least. They think they're in Palmetto because they go to put in 12525 Jones Ferry. And it's Palmetto. I mean, it's ridiculous that this time frame, after how many years you've been,
Why doesn't it pop up?
it's a city, it's not Palmetto City.
That's a really good
So
point.
it's about to
And we're
get
fair.
worse, and we, and in fact, we should do a campaign. I
Yeah.
think the mayor was gonna send a letter to our senators. We have, because it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Because of course, the north end, they have the same problem and they get Fairburn, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And now the south part of Serenbe is gonna be new.
Right.
So we've got
We gotta unite.
we've got 3 different cities that identify with our residents and they're having to put it in. I mean, Palmetto luckily will deliver it even if it's, no matter who it's to. But Noonan won't, and I don't think Fairburn does.
It requires a new zip code in order to get a new zip code, you have a post office.
Well, let's get a
Let's build a
post
Great
office.
small little post office.
Yeah.
So
What'd you
I-
do? What was that building you just bought?
Yeah,
Public Works building.
How much money
you say we have? 3,000, we can
build a post
office.
That's been an issue all along.
but I think there could be, I think there's a case for a hardship because now we have 3 cities.
Yeah.
zip
Yes, agreed.
within this, and we need our own zip code, and I'm sure a contract would be made with Palmetto. That they could handle 2 zip codes maybe. Or, you know, if they don't wanna fund a post person. For this small population, anyhow, that's a whole nother, that
We
kind
can
of,
continue to try,
Or-
but we're on the right track. It
Love
would
that.
take federal involvement.
it
There's
takes,
gotta be
but our senators could push this forward as a hardship.
You talk John also. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, help us out.
Yeah.
Don't call John.
Can you do all of Sandy under one, if there's a new zip code under one, or would it still be Coweta County?
Well, it would be the
Still
city,
Chat
but
Hills.
right now,
Still
because we don't have our own zip code,
Yeah,
they have to use Noonan's zip code.
yeah. But if we did.
Just like we use Palmetto's,
Yeah,
and then the end of the other, they're using Fairburns.
It is, yeah, favorite.
So-
Y'all are favorite.
I'm Fairburn.
but if Chat Hills had its own post office zip code,
Then-
all of Serenbe, all of Chat Hills could use it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's very.
Doesn't matter what county you're in, it's what
Well,
zip code you're in.
Can the
So they would-
economic
They would
director,
reline.
I mean, that's important.
like, what's
Write a
next
grant for
steps,
that.
like, what would we have to do?
We can try. I've been unsuccessful in my efforts doing it, even in another city when I was city manager of Holly Springs. We had a post office in Holly Springs.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the main branch. The main branch was in Canton.
Got
So
it.
all the address in the city was still Canton.
Got it.
And when you go to like Google Maps or all these kind of things, it's gonna say whatever the post office says it's gonna say.
But I think now we have the hardship of three,
Mhm.
you know.
Oh, I'm not saying
just-
it's done.
we
I've
should-
seen it done.
I think we present that. So anybody has contact with any of our senators, we maybe get to organize, you know, letters, get that out.
I mean, it's worth a try for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll continue to try. And you're right about the economic development record. I put in for a visionary city award,
Yeah,
and I didn't submit it because he was doing it too for his city, and he sent me his, I was like, I just can't mine, I was like, I can't compete with that. He had senators and Pete Buttigieg and all these references, and you know, all these other people sending letters of support, I was like, I don't have letters of support from anybody.
We can give you a letter.
Yeah, we'll
Are we,
give you
are
that.
we, is that what we can talk?
I sent out requests to, for 3 people, and none of them responded anyway, but the fact of the matter is, this gentleman that I hired, he's just.
That's great.
He's very, he's connected with his ways. It's
Excited
very-
about
it's gonna be good.
So I'm trying to wrestle in next steps.
Mhm.
yeah. Post offices.
Yeah.
Well, okay, post
Down the
office.
line.
What a post
But
office.
it's a good thought.
So, I think we all
Anything
agree. we
economic
want to
development.
So I think one thing we heard here that wasn't in the presentation is these signages for park entrances, park boards, information. We have to get a QR code.
Yes.
That, how does that incorporate into the signage that we can get that everywhere? I think I hear that we agree we want to have a web page template and rollout. Now, how do we sort of think about that? Okay, everybody comes in who maybe in the economic development, who's gonna manage that loading?
What that
Mhm.
looks like.
That's right. Is that something we do through City Hall? Do we hire?
Well, once you say, send me an image to use when we talk about you, we've lost pretty much all control of what that looks like. You know what I mean? Like, now you could say, send me your business logo.
Well, that's what we gotta decide, or do we let them actually build it? If we have a strong enough frame, do we just let them build
Page,
Who's
Yeah.
them?
a business owner.
any business?
Yeah.
Oh, build their own page? I don't know.
And,
That would be-
or
I
do
don't know about that.
or do we give connection to a professional that'll build your page for you? But I want.
No, well, why wouldn't you, well. Let me back up. So if we're on our site and you go to it, it seems like we wanna set the template for what we present about everybody's business and a link to their
their
website,
website,
so
yeah.
they
Yeah.
tell their
Okay.
I
story.
agree.
Yeah.
So, and then here's what, okay, so this, based on previous experience, what we would do is. We want to have some symmetry across all the content for all businesses.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna ask the new, you know, birthday cake shop to be on, do interview them. We have a lot of the similar questions that are going to you, Carter, about your business and, you know, so as we go through. This, we want that kind of symmetry so you can scan it and then it becomes easy, like, hey, these are the 5 questions we're gonna ask for all our businesses and, you know, then that content, you can use it in social post, you can use it on your site, you can email blast, whatever that is. But I mean, we'd suggest. An iPhone, you could use the camera, but show up, get some good pics of the person, to kind of establish that level of quality, and this is what Sioux Chattahoochee Hills is and what we're doing. And this is the shop, you know, get a couple great pictures and then publish that. So like you want to set the precedent of the level of quality for these. And I think it's great that if you start with who do you think the most influential people are that are really positive and gonna help this gain traction? How do we kind of support them, get them involved?
Well, that's a great answer to the question of what are you doing for me, right? Rather than an ask of them, hey, put something on your
Right.
website. It's this is our website and we're featuring you, right?
Yeah.
And we're also featuring these other people and maybe someone came to our website to learn about them, but you're also there and to talk about that kind of network of connections and leading you down the different places. of
And
Chat
it gives
Hills.
you that little bit of control of how you tell the story.
So our first entry will, everyone who's paying taxes into this bureau, that's our first.
Right.
Then the next level we'll look at is all the members that have joined the DMO that helps give a benefit if you want to join that. Then that's the next level. And we have those kind of rules as to who gets to feature. So could you give us a proposal so you better understand what's included in what this, and then what's to take to this next step? Do you kind of understand what we?
We'll sketch out a couple things, and including just, you know, happy to host y'all, but it's easier to, you know, than inviting y'all to drive up to Inman Park. It's easier to come down here and do it, but, you know, to do some kind of innovation workshop or customer experience workshop, or really start to think about what are those points, you know, where you can intercept people in their journey. And I like that. It's how do you awaken them to everything around them and that they have access to it and not to just be blind to it, you know, and because things are hidden, they're off the road, they're far away, and if you don't know, you don't know. And so I love the idea of some kind of tool that can help that happen. Some of this stuff's really interconnected. I mean, you can't go to a sign with a QR code or RFID reader and then not have the destination, right? So it's kind of thinking about that whole experience from tip to tail. And so that, you know, making sure that, you know, your initial destination doesn't have to be fully built, doesn't have to be amazing. It can just be kind of a placeholder to tell you, hey, you're in Chat Hills, here's a list of things, right? 18 months from now, it can be, here's you in Chat Hills, here's a list of 10 things within a mile of you and 30 things within 3 miles of you, right? And whatever, you can get more, you can use the same URL, but just evolve it.
So how do we work back from that for the presentation for like launch? Like, what do we need?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's kind of evolved. I mean, I guess it's evolved as much as you want it to be.
Yeah.
So in terms of just checking the boxes of what we need for February, like, do we need a web page by February? Yes or no?
I don't think, well, we need a page.
We need a
Yes, I
page.
think we need
We need a
landing
hosted
page.
page.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't need,
So
and maybe it's,
check.
Correct.
There you go.
the landing page, it
Landing
would probably
page.
be nice if we can show a sample of what a business page might look like. And to me, that's the two most critical.
Like a featured story of a business.
Yes, you know, like here's the landing page. Once we have your information, this is how businesses would be featured.
Do you want me to incorporate a landing page in the city's website in the interim, as opposed to creating a new, I'm just throwing it out
I
there.
think that whole city,
It
whether
could-
they take it, don't take it, that's a different
And I
thing.
think what you.
Yeah,
You'll link to us.
yeah, it could saturate it, I don't wanna do that, you'd get lost.
But I think it's a PowerPoint, don't you?
That's it. Can you just,
It'll feel like that, but you can
Yeah.
scroll through it, but I do think you have to have a discrete URL for this.
Yes.
for the
Right.
TVB.
yes.
Okay, yeah, so let us take a stab at it and then share it back, because I think we can show you like, hey, this is what we think a great launch plan or game plan would be,
Awesome.
and then y'all can fill in the gaps.
Great.
That sounds.
So it seemed like two things. We really want to talk about a web page at the launch, and we want to announce maybe this what'd you call it, a work session?
Oh, like kind of an innovation
The
session.
Innovation Center.
Yeah.
And we'll really work with the new economic development person to really
The new post office.
build that.
Yes, and we'll have the new post
And,
office built.
and then it'd be great to get some,
Robbie's like,
some prices on stickers that we pass out.
Yes.
Would we want caps and mugs? to sell?
Stressful.
At the
I think
February
we
meeting?
can decide that, but definitely a car sticker
Yeah, we have to have
Definitely
stickers.
that we give away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we give
I
the
think
stickers.
But I
Stickers are
think if
great.
we had t-shirts, we'd sell some.
I do too, t-shirts,
Mhm.
caps,
Yeah.
mugs. So we, give us a price range and we can figure out how much, you know,
And if y'all have, maybe we'll reach out to you on your cap experience because,
I'll show you the quality, I mean.
yeah.
We've got really good hats at the end too. We actually pay a little bit more for them, but if we're gonna sell them, it's okay.
I'll show you.
They're not expensive regardless. I mean, hats are not
And then
expensive.
we also need to talk about what we're gonna say, so we probably need to like schedule
That's soft as all does.
yeah,
get
that,
togethers.
That's a huge sweat off of it.
so I think. Yeah, what's the story? Who's gonna outline that? How are you here to kind
I
of
can-
outline the
I
story?
can help, I can help. I don't wanna do it by myself though, 'cause
Well,
I
you
need
know what
somebody
always
to.
happens.
I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to help. Yes.
And I'm gonna volunteer Brooke, because I still remember that exercise that we did.
Yeah,
She was a great
And she
storyteller.
had a whole story.
Yeah.
She had a
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, so the two of you are gonna kind of get our storyline. Anybody else who wants to join can, I know.
And really, I'm just envisioning it as like a preface to tee them up, to
Yeah.
really get
Yes.
into the.
Yeah, I
nitty-gritty.
agree.
Yeah,
And you can pull some of the, like, story framework that we've
perfect.
created
Yeah.
to help formulate what you're gonna say, and then
Yeah.
we'll take it even.
Perfect.
You could send out the presentation to us too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we'll all want a piece of that, so you
Yeah.
get prepared to speak.
Yeah.
All,
Someone you want to speak to.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, for the price.
For $4.
All right, is there anything else we need to
I
talk?
think we ordered 100, but.
Oh.
So one thing I kept hearing everyone say was about the orange color, but we didn't really go into, was everybody satisfied with the orange?
I would like it a little deeper. Darker.
It's just a question, just because I heard a little bit.
Preference.
I like it.
I like orange if we're not calling it.
It's
George
clay.
J.
I
Clay.
think it's
I think it's
just-
a beautiful color that goes well with the green and the blue. I just don't like to call it.
I think one
George
thing
Cut.
also is, and this kind of speaks to your point as well, Carter, with like flower, right? That color palette, right, no, it'll be used, but no one will see it in that.
That like
way
this,
when, you know,
see the
oh,
colors.
Right,
Yes.
Pantone 327.
Perfect.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And-
So,
Only when we get
And,
to-
and I found brighter colors actually translate better a
Mhm.
lot than if you get some of these cool muted
Muted.
colors.
They make you feel better. The brighter they are.
Stand
the
out.
better.
Actually, digitally. they
Yeah.
are.
I mean.
And everybody's monitors don't show different colors.
no one ever needs to know that we
Yeah.
said.
And everybody's eyes and glasses are gonna
I have my hand in it. I'm like, oh, it's not.
So I did have just a couple,
Huge.
so I know we
Oh,
said
good.
stickers, so like, I guess I wanna find some stickers and.
Or
or
Price a
send them
sticker and
out.
show us a sticker, yeah.
We get a lot of stickers.
Yeah,
Right, right.
I bet we can figure that, but
in various colors, maybe.
Oh, that's cute, where you got them?
Did you get your hat, Brooke? Did you get it locally?
Let me ask you, I didn't do it.
Cause we also
We
have
did
the
it.
LT patch, it's in Noonan.
Yeah.
And they've done a lot of hats in the local area as well, and you know, guys tend to like the ones the old trucker hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Stuff, so.
That's what we got.
These are 15.
Yeah, we got those hats.
Carter, what it comes out? Yeah.
Trucker hat.
Look at my hair.
And I also wanted to say. As far as like the tangible thing for that February meeting,
So
stickers are great, but. I was thinking like some type of one pager
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, handouts.
yes, definitely that someone could hold,
I don't know.
maybe put it on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
With the different logos and different
Yeah.
things on it.
Yeah.
And that's.
Cause it's easier I know for me, it's easier for me to speak to something if I have something,
good idea.
so.
And gee, wouldn't it be great if we had a magnet to go along with it?
Yeah,
Cause I've definitely found myself lately telling the story more and more and more of Chad Hills,
yeah,
so I would love to be able to have.
Yeah.
something.
that's good for you, yeah.
And we can like eventually work for this meeting, whatever you guys prefer, have like tiers of information. It's like you have your elevator pitch. You have your
Yes.
city hall meeting,
Yeah.
and then you have your like 30-page report,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
Definitely worth
In terms of like messaging that supports like the logo. Or will we, when we work with you in the future, will we get any of those like canned, like go to market messages? Or is that kind of integrated into what we have? Like it's rural, it's,
I
is
think
that separate?
we're gonna pull those out, so we've got probably a dozen big paragraphs.
Yeah, right,
Um, And there's some things that internally, when we're kind of reading through it, we keep pulling certain language, so
okay,
we're gonna pull that, and then we think about what's kind of a phrase or tagline
Right.
that you can deploy for different audiences.
right.
In
Because,
this toolkit, you'll have a bank
Yeah.
of
Yeah, so the
Of
next thing that
words,
you
yeah,
guys
that's
will
great.
get from us, in addition to some, ideas and proposal around
Yeah.
launch and website, things like that, is, this brand guidelines toolkit.
Yep.
That will have discreetly broken out, right, those messages of just like, here are some examples of, sorry, this, I haven't pulled up here, right, like frameworks with like key messaging points.
Right.
And.
That's what I'm,
and
that's what I'm
things like
looking
that.
for, 'cause
Yeah.
just thinking
Messaging.
about teeing up the
Phrase bank.
presentation.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the phrase bank, yeah, those messages, like, what is the story of this logo? What is the story of this mark? What does it represent? And then, like, I just wanna make sure I'm consistent with what, we're saying to them to make sure you're in a good place to.
I think a lot of it's about that, just the challenge that y'all have, not
Yeah.
so much about. the
Right,
rest,
right,
But
right,
we've got this thing where we're attracting people from all over the world
Right.
who wanna invest in this community, and, we're a really unique thing, so I think it's gonna be more about how do we talk about this great place that
Yeah.
we are and that we're becoming, and make sure that we attract the right
Yeah.
partners, and not partners that are, say, we want all the strip malls, or we wanna, duplicate what's happening in Gwinnett, right? I mean, how do we attract the right type of investment, keep the, the land open and free, and keep it what it is in ways that,
Yeah.
with smart growth.
People that get what you're trying to
Yeah.
do.
So I think if that becomes kind of the story,
Yeah.
and this is like, and hey, this is the flag, it's the beacon.
right,
But it's how we look, how we talk, how we show up.
yeah. Right, that.
And I mean, I'm happy to ping pong with y'all, do more like, hey, if I'm thinking about this from like a strategic message, like these are the 5 points.
Right.
I might wanna make, and then, I think it's what's great is when y'all do it in your lane, in your words, it's, that's when it comes to life too.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
ooh, yeah.
Everybody feel good?
Yeah.
All right, and no action is needed, I don't believe. The next thing is realizing this, I think we need a January meeting to rehearse the February
Yes.
city
Definitely.
council meeting.
Yes.
And I tried attempting getting, I think we need a standard date, because as much as we try, we're still missing 2 people.
Mhm.
So I think if we just have a standard date that every month or every other month, I think we can meet
Yeah.
every other month at this point. So we'll kick off a January meeting. We'll be together for the council meeting, but that isn't it. So we'll do a January, March, and so on. Does anyone have anything, or do I do an email out? Is that easier? We were looking at Mondays, if we did like the second Monday of every month,
Right,
And announce all those dates in January.
the whole.
Calendar for the
That's
year.
right. We'll do the whole calendar.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Second
that's what
one.
council does.
Yeah.
Set for the year.
And then if something happens, we can always change that month.
And I don't know about, it seems that Clarice and Mike are the 2 who travel the most. So I don't know if Monday morning or late on Friday is better for them, but
Could be.
if
You
we
know,
just
for a while,
announce it,
we were ending up on Monday at 4 o'clock.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's
That
fine too.
seemed to work for
Yeah.
everybody. Now, I don't know if Monday at 8 o'clock.
Well, that's painful, but.
Okay, maybe we'll
could
get out,
happen.
maybe we'll get out
That'll
a
help.
suggestion. These are the dates.
There's just no reason.
And our choice is it's 4 o'clock and the backup is 8 o'clock and let everybody kind of chime in. Does that sound good? Okay. All right, is there any other business that needs to come before this group?
I don't think so. Do we have hard next steps? Is that clear?
Yeah, you, you,
I am gonna.
you,
start
you,
writing.
Julie are in charge.
We can meet like in January.
Yeah, you and Julianne.
It's like a 5-minute.
And Brooke's gonna help, so the three of you are gonna get us
Early
organized, and then in January.
Yeah, early January.
Yeah, that's great.
5 minutes.
And she's thinking.
It's gonna take longer than 5
Maybe
minutes.
5 minutes.
And maybe if by the January meeting, you could get us a shopping list and prices of some of these things we'd like to roll out.
We're gonna get that before.
Yeah.
If you want me.
Yeah, but we'll really discuss it.
Yeah,
Then.
Well, I guess no, we need to
Mine
order
need to
it.
be over the
Yeah.
email. Mine need to be sent
So-
email and chime in.
So we can have a Zoom call.
35.
We have Zoom, or just with holidays coming up, we can send you a list with links.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And prices.
we could have like some around some cheese and that. honey.
And we also do have one in our office,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Julie and I'll have a.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
We can go, we can go.
Robbie can give our budget ideas of where we are.
We get wrist tattoos.
Yeah.
If we need to borrow any from the
CH
city to fund us a little bit.
I got some room.
Well,
Great.
I was like, that's fantastic. Is it this?
Somewhere.
yeah, I love that. Put them on our computer.
I know, I was so put one on my, will you give me a sticker? I'll put it on.
I
I
know.
know, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on shirts, so.
We could all wear t-shirts.
But do we want,
Yeah.
we,
Oh,
we're gonna have to
yeah.
like,
That's
we
a good
can,
idea.
but we
Good
can't
idea.
till the end, cause they can't see it inside our story, so we have to like
We
break away.
We've all do a breakaway.
Superman, yeah.
I think it would be fun to do a
No,
break
no, no.
away.
Background music.
I like it.
If you're willing to dance.
I've done that in a while.
Okay, well, this concludes chapter 1, I guess, wouldn't you say? And it's been a pleasure
Yeah.
getting to this point with you all. And I think you really pulled off a unique brand that we.
I agree.
Future, so
Yes.
thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
That's great.
If I hear no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. I hearing no opposition.
Yeah.
This meeting is closed.
All right.
Gavel.
Oh.
Yeah, Gavin.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well done.
Hand it out.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I also have my builder.
All right.
So,
It's kind of a.
I don't think I have your phone. Do I?
Right, I don't